have you here. We are going to be over the next 4 days working our LinkedIn sales challenge. And the whole point of this is around using LinkedIn to get you sales appointments within the next 4 days. That's the game plan. And of course, if you've got the right sort of lead time on those sales appointments, then why not? There could well be possibilities of making sales in the next 4 days. So our agenda for it's going to be as fold. So first of all, we're going to show you that this actually can be done. And I'm going to demo the end-to-end system of how this works. And then today we're going to look at your target audience and make sure that we're hitting the right target audience for this campaign. And if you've been trying with a different target audience previously, it's a good time to review it, try something different. If you haven't done any of this stuff before, then it's a really good time to really think about, well, actually, what am I doing on LinkedIn and why am I doing it? So the day one actions that we'll have is going to be around editing your header on your profile and writing the outreach message using our template ready to start the outreach tomorrow. It's only 4 days, and the whole point of this is for us to host these sessions for only about half an hour, not too long, and to give you then time in the second half an hour of the morning to actually do the implementation. So half an hour or so session, half an hour or so implementation, just an hour a day for 4 days. That's all we need. We call that your $1 million hour in our client group, $1 million sprints. And actually, most of this marketing stuff can just be done in an hour a day if you stay consistent and chip away at it. Believe it can be done. So I just want to show you a couple of examples here. These are outreach messages that we send out, very similar to the ones that we'll teach you to do today. And you can see here, there's people are coming back and saying, yes, great, I'd love to have a meeting with you, I'd love to have a chat. And these people are going on to actually then buy from us, okay? Here's sort of a breakdown of the latest sales that we're making. And you can see there's a number there that have been tagged as a LinkedIn lead. And in fact, 54 out of the 135 clients that we currently have within $1 Million Sprint, their origin was from outreach via LinkedIn. So you can see here that's a big chunk of our client base. And so this stuff genuinely can be done. It's really worth doing. Now, in terms of from your perspective, this is some screenshots from previous campaigns. So we run this implementation challenge twice a year, and this is examples from people on this challenge, and these are by day 3. So these are people by day 3. So you can see John Daniels, top left there, saying 4 positive responses so far. That's 4 people that are saying yes, they'd like to have a meeting with him. So he's obviously very excited about that. You see Jan here, who went out and got his outreach working, and he's now had 6 positive responses. You can see on his middle message there, he had 6, which is fantastic. So really, really cool. And then Karen at the top, so she had 4 scheduled over the next 3 weeks, so four sales meetings scheduled that she was able to achieve from this exact challenge. So no different to what you're going to be going through in the next few days. And then Jay here went getting her first call scheduled from her first set of activity. So really, really cool results. So this is what we want you to build. This is the system. This is exactly end to end what a simple campaign should look like. And we're going to be going through it. So everything from getting your profile optimized for this through to messaging, through to nudging, through to having a good booking engine for people to actually generate potential inquiries. And we'll talk a little bit about Calendly. We'll talk a little bit about high level when we talk about how people are booking into messages with you, and having follow-up sequences to make sure people actually do attend, because your show up rate is so super important. And then that should then filter through to some sort of pitch, some sort of page to help you better make sales. So the game plan is that you should be working on some sort of funnel that looks like this, and we're going to help you to build that. Specifically today, we're going to help you to do these first 2 stages. So priming your LinkedIn profile and getting your message right for that outreach. Okay, so that's our actions from today. Lovely, jubbly. Okay, so first step, we really got to know your audience. And as I say, this is a really good time to review exactly who are you trying to target and actually how many of them are you really connected with on LinkedIn? Because if you're not connected to your audience, then how is your audience actually going to see your content, want to engage in you? And when you're sending out messages, you've got to have people to send it out to. So this is going to really help you to see, do I have a big enough audience? Am I actually, although I'd like to sell to this type of person, am I even connected to them? Am I even actually in their world? Or am I just still connected to a load of old ex-colleagues from my old corporate days, or people from university that I was connected to and never completely lost touch with, and it's pointless being connected to them, right? Am I in that state? So it depends on which hop you're in. So we want to look at how your low-hanging fruit actually plays out and how can we find them. And so I'm just going to get you guys. So one of the key activities we're going to do today is not join up for the Hampton Court run. Let's get the LinkedIn profile up. One of the key activities we're going to do is work out, are you actually connected to your audience? And if you're not, how can we do that? And and how can we find them on LinkedIn? So if you are very simple, in terms of audience selection, and when I say that, I mean that I just want to work with owners of IT support companies in London. That's a simple search because we can go, IT plus, director plus, and you don't even need to do plus London because if we do this, IT plus director, and then we can go into all filters here, and then we can say London, like this, you can then start to filter down like this, right? And so, yeah, that might be IT. To be fair, that search is going to show IT directors, not necessarily owners of IT companies, but you know what I mean. So you could work out it's this industry plus this role and then London, right? And so actually, if you want to have, if you don't want to have all directors and you want to just have managing director, you can go commas like this and go managing and then commas. Now that's what we call an exact match. So this is IT plus I want to have managing director as an exact match, and then it'll start the search. And so the reason why I'm showing you this is because this is the type of skill you want to develop if you're using a free LinkedIn account. Now, I've got Sales Navigator, which gives me so many more options, so many tick lists and stuff that I can use to really help me to get loads more searches. And I can see how big the company is, how much, how the head count is, what their revenue is. I can see if they're active on LinkedIn in the last 30 days. I can see if they just changed jobs. All of that Sales Navigator. And that's a really lovely search criteria. Now, if you're watching this and thinking, I really need to start looking at this better and do some searching on Sales Navigator, then if I just bring you across to our free community in here, if you're not part of this, please do join it. In fact, I'll drop the link into the chat now. I'm sure Flora could. Oh, Flora's already done it. Perfect. And so in here in the classroom, I have a free training on Sales Navigator. So if you go down to here, Sales Navigator, and you can jump on. I'll just chuck that into the chat there. But you can go and have a look at it. So if you wanted to go deep on some of these searches and pay for Sales Navigator, and you can have a 30-day free trial, feel free to do it. What I want to teach you here is how to continue to use the free version of LinkedIn and find that target audience. Because if we know this target audience, and we want to do IT plus managing director, and we go through this and go, okay, great. So managing director IT, managing director, perfect. So I can look at this and go, oh, actually, this does look like the right audience. I can then go, well, actually, I want them to not be I want them to be my first degree connection because I just want to send them a direct message. And by seeing this, it shows me that my low hanging fruit is 362 people, i.e., I would like to sell to IT company owners, but I am actually only connected to 362 of them, which shows that I'm not connected to a mass of them. Or it might show you, wow, you are connected to loads of them. And that then gives you the potential opportunity for this campaign. Okay. So tomorrow, if you find a search that looks like this, that is first degree connections of your target audience, and you've got, 100 or so people, that's great because you've got enough then for this challenge. If you don't have enough results, it's going to show you that one, you're not connected to your right target audience, or two, you can't find them because your searching isn't going well on LinkedIn. And then three, it would show you that you need to do more connecting to get your level of audience up. Okay. But in this instance, this would be great because now I can go use this button on the right hand side message and go bam, 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 and send out the message that we're going to write today. So that's super easy for what I would call the easy people on LinkedIn, the people who want to target job role, industry sector, location, which would be similar to me. So if I just show you the screenshot that I took here, so for me, I want to do for people who are coaches, who are in the UK, who are speakers, right? Job done. And then my opportunity of this is 197,000. So that's how many people come up in total. And then my low hanging fruit was 743, i.e., the 743 who are my first degree connections. Okay. So in our IT support example, if I just untick first degree connection, it's going to show me as 11,000. That's the opportunity, 11,000 people who I could sell to. And then there's 362 of them who I'm absolutely connected to. This, I think, is the big aha that people need to really think about. So your search criteria. So job one will be to find that search criteria. Now, there'll be lots of people who say, but I sell to people who want to lose weight, or I sell to people who have mental health issues, or I sell to people who want to have life coaching. And I'd be like, okay, so that's slightly more difficult, right? Particularly on LinkedIn. So if you're going to approach it from that perspective where you find it difficult to find people because they're not in a box, there's two things you can do. One, if you are a weight loss coach, for example, or if you are a mental health coach or a life coach, maybe you could specialize to say, hey, I help IT directors to, have a life outside the office, right? And now you're niching your what you thought wasn't nicheable product into a niche, right? So you can actually just change the way that you approach this. And there's a great saying that says niche your marketing, not your business, i.e., you can just run a campaign to that niche. You don't have to completely kind of burn the bridges from everything else in your business. But if you're running a campaign, particularly for this type of challenge, you could say you are a specialist in that area, right? So that's one way of approaching it. If that's still really difficult because you can't actually find a search criteria for this, then you start to think about, well, how can I find people who are clustering together for that problem? So we have a client in Million Dollar Sprint who helps people with MS, right? And so it's very difficult because you can't just search for people with MS. So what you do in that instance is, now I'm not going to be able to spell it, am I? I'm gonna say MS like this, right? And let's just see. I don't. I'm gonna have a go at spelling it, aren't I? Because I'm the world's worst speller, and I should always kind of think about my examples before I give them. Okay, so we're gonna have to do cirrhosis, right? So let me just unshare and find. Well, old. Okay, right, here we go. Perfect. And let me just reshare so I can get this search criteria out. So you can agree that this is a difficult thing to find people with MS, right? But on LinkedIn, if you go into here and we then search for this, we then want to press search on the keyword, find groups, and now suddenly we've actually found a load of groups of people here, right? So there's one group that is just basically keyword specific, 2,000 members. We got one that's around the actual treatment, the drugs for it, 2,000. We got one that's a network, 4,000. Can you see here? There's 2,000, 2,000, 4,000, 1,000. We didn't think that you could find them, and yet here you go. They are all grouped together. And by going into this group and joining it, suddenly we can actually then start to actually connect with people and messaging. So if you're on the free account, you can join it. You can then see who the members are, and then you can actually start connecting and messaging to those people in the group. If you're on Sales Navigator, and actually I'll show you this on Sales Navigator, which is really cool. Not only can you go into groups, and this can be great if you're trying to find women in business. So there's lots of female business network groups, and if you then join them, if you're trying to target just women in business or vice versa for men, you can do a lead search within Sales Navigator, and you can actually select the group that they're in, right? So if I go, actually, I wonder if I'm part of, I think I'm joined women. Oh no, I'm not in any female groups. I used to be in one just to try and use it as the example, but it looks like I've been kicked out of it. Fair enough. Okay, cool. So Enterprise Nation, right, is a group that I like to go into. That's a UK group that's pretty good in terms of small business owners. And by seeing all these people in the group, there's 1,000 results in there. I can then go, well, actually, I only want to speak to the people who are seniority level, who are the owners of businesses. And then I want to go and see industry sector, and then I can go IT. I'm just using IT as an example. It's actually not one of the big ones that we target, but it's a good example, right? And so I can then see, look at all these different IT things, and I can go and select the ones that I think are the ones that I'm particularly most interested in. And then suddenly I've now got 3 results of IT owners who are in that group, right? And now from here, I can then go and connect and message and outreach to those people because of the groups. Now, if it was and I'm not part of an MS group, but if I was trying to work within MS groups and then I wanted to have people who were self-employed, then that could be a really easy way of doing this because instead I can go company headcount and I can go self-employed and then I could go owner partner and then I could find all the people who are running their own businesses with MS on LinkedIn and I can join 4 or 5 of those groups. Bam, we've now got a great search criteria of the right type of people, right? So I'm just showing you different ways of approaching it. If you're weight loss, for example, don't try and find people who want to lose weight. Find people who are on interesting different fad diets. Like I'm not saying keto is a fad diet, but keto is a type of diet. And then there you go, the keto 1 meal a day implementation fast lifestyle, right? Great, 420 people in there, keto products. So it's not about the individual groups, it's about the volume of people within the collective set of groups. And you would go through here and join them all, and then you would then put together a search, right? Because obviously all those people are interested in losing weight. So it's the action of them joining that group puts their hand up to go, they are interested in a healthy lifestyle, something along those lines, right? Cool. Does this make sense? Before I move on to the messaging, any questions on searching? Because I think that's super important. And also, can I just relate this to the $1 million sprinters in this group? Because I know there's a few. This is a really good way of you maybe helping to focus in on the right audiences. If you're finding you're not quite finding the right people, this is a really good way to actually work with your VAs to be able to kind of go, well, actually, maybe we should be thinking a little bit left field like these groups. Maybe we should be thinking about joining these groups and talking to people. Maybe we should be slightly tweaking the target audience around this niche, right? So that's one of the things that you could be thinking about if you see that this might need a bit of help, right? Thanks, Les, by the way, for writing multiple sclerosis in there. That saved me, would have saved me some help if I actually was looking at the chat, but I wasn't. Good. Super tips. Thank you. Any questions on those searches? Do we all feel that we could find a search that has got our audience and then see who we're actually connected to and see where our low-hanging fruit is and where our opportunity is? Give us a yes in the chat if you feel that you're in that place. Give us a no if you feel there's an issue and we can work it. Okay, some good yeses. Lovely, good stuff. Okay, so Rob says, what about seeing notifications from our target audience? Really great. It doesn't, the issue that you have on LinkedIn is that LinkedIn wants to make money from you. So if you go onto home here, it's going to show you everybody that you're connected with, a whole medley of updates from people you want to connect with, and also their second and third degree connections that may have posted something that's gone a bit viral, right? So it's got an algorithmic route, and things like top stories on the right hand side here as well. It's all kind of algorithmic. And it's based upon what LinkedIn wants to show you. It doesn't take long, like literally the second post, to see that there's another one in here that's promoted. So this is a promoted post. So that's it trying to sell to me. And then we got a normal one of someone sharing something that obviously has done well. And then it probably means, yeah, look, here you go. It's a little tag here that says suggested. So this is, within the first 4 posts, I've had one from actually my connections, one sponsored post, one of my connections sharing someone else's post, and something suggested outside of my network. And so that's crazy, right? So that's not really optimized for me based on my connections, is it? It's optimized for what LinkedIn wants to show me. So that's where Sales Navigator again comes in to the fold. So if we go to home here on Sales Navigator, it gives you a aggregated together feed of your target's latest posts. So I can go into here, and this is all the latest posts, and I can go to lead list. I can put people into a lead list. So my target business coaches that I'm trying to target at the moment, because that is one of my audiences. And now this is those 36 people's latest posts. And I can see here that Paul Banks shared a post, and I can go into here. I can see him. I can see what his post is. I can message him, etc., etc. Right? So it just allows me to be really abundant in his world and see the posts and comment on it and like them. So this is the answer to that solution. This is a totally just for my target audience, just from the people that I've made a lead list out of. They go into that list, right? So that's how it works. So then so hopefully that helped answer your question. Good. Okay. Stage 2 of this morning then is, we want to get your headline written for your audience. So if we know that we're going to go after these IT directors, then how do we go and write this headline specifically for them? Because if we're trying to target them, we need it to actually show up and to back up what we're trying to say. So if you can see here, you can see Alexandra here is a full stack developer. Pete is helping creators to effectively market their audio content to their email list. And we got Sarah, who's a senior project manager at the AV group, right? So only one of those really talks to me as someone when they send me a connection request. This is how those connection requests will show up, right? It allows me to actually go, okay, that's the type of person who might be interesting for me to actually connect with. Same in my DMs. If someone sends me a direct message into my inbox, who's my connection, then actually seeing how they show up works well. As you can see here, Janice transforming the way sales leaders retain and grow key customers, helping deliver excellent experience B2B buyers want. So it's giving a real kind of focal point for why I might be interested in what she's saying, right? It gives context. So writing this for your target audience is super important. And so if you're doing this campaign-based, getting into your actual specific niche and you're going out to them, then call them out. So for me, we could go helping coaches, consultants, and course creators sprint to 1 million in revenue. So that's who I'm targeting because that's the list of people that I'm going after. So the example I gave you at the start would be helping owners of IT support companies to grow their business or whatever it is. It means that if I'm an owner of an IT business, I'm going to pay more attention to your outreach message. And if you are working that campaign to those 363 people over the next week, then there's no harm in you changing the headline for that week, getting into them, getting all their responses, and then after next week, you can always change it to marketing agency owners and get into them because it's in the inboxes, it's in the connection requests. That's where you're going to be working, right? And so change and tweak it based upon the campaign you're running. And then the second part is the credibility piece, which will always stay consistent. That's the why they should listen. So from this instance, it's award-winning entrepreneur, BBC Apprentice finalist, etc. Right? So you can use whatever credibility items you think would work well. So who and how you help and why they should listen. That's the formula. Here's one from Jez, who's a $1 million sprinter last year. And so he said, who and how you help. So he's going more corporate-y, which is why this one was a good one to show you. So partnering with organizations to create a culture of performance and well-being so they can focus on impacting the world. And then his why they should listen is former top 250 UK IT leader because he was going after IT companies. So that credibility backs up his status with IT companies. Okay. So editing your headline in that way, who and how you help and why they should listen. So let's take action today and update your profile based upon who you're going to target for this outreach message. Okay. The last thing that we're going to do, so there's only three things. So one, you want to search and find that audience. Two, you update your headline for that audience. And then three, let's write this outreach message using our template. Okay. So this is our template here. And you can see here on the left-hand side, this is exactly this template that I send out. And we get responses from it. People literally just saying, yes, happy to have a chat, right? That was just a couple of weeks ago. So hi, first name. I don't want to take much of your time, so let me get straight to the point. We're looking to partner with expert entrepreneurs who are awesome at what they do, but need more clients. We run a lead generation and sales accelerator designed specifically for experts, and we think you'd be a great fit. Would love to schedule a time next week so we can show you more, right? And let's break that down. So that it's got 4 sections to it, and all of us can write these 4 sections, okay? So the first section is, let's be upfront. Like, hi, I want, hi, let's get straight in. Don't do the hi, I hope things are well. I hope you had a good weekend. That's just padding. We don't need to. We need to remove every little bit of bulk from this. So everything has got a specific point. Hi, I don't want to take up much of your time, so let me get straight to the point. Just it gets straight in. We're going to be going straight. It's a direct. And the reason why direct works, and I know everybody's like, oh my God, you're pitching like straight on there. Like this is the thing that all people on LinkedIn hate. Actually, the whole point is that you've been connected with these people already. They are your first degree connections. And you are probably friend zoning them on LinkedIn. You've been sending content. They've been kind of seeing stuff. You've been kind of connected for a while, but you haven't really asked them to do anything or asked for the meeting. So this challenge helps you to actually go and ask for the meeting, to be brave, to actually go and do something that feels a little bit icky, but gets results. And if it gets results, then why the hell not, right? So that first bit is the let's get straight to the point. The second bit is the who and the pain they have. So this is specifically saying to them, we're looking to partner with owners of IT support companies who are awesome at what they do, but are stuck stuck getting clients, or people who are stressed at work that need to spend more time on the things that are important. Whatever the who it is, make sure you call it out and the pain that they have. Okay. How we solve the pain is then a little bit about your product, but not too much. We run a lead generation sales accelerator designed specifically for that person. And we think you would be a great fit. So you're almost alluding that you've done a little bit more research on them. And then the call to action is we'd love to schedule a call next week so I can show you more. So the point of that schedule a call is not like you don't drop your calendar link in there because that's a bit icky. You just want them to reply like, yes, I'd love to schedule a call next week so I can show you more. So don't, you want to get the reply and they'll be like, yeah, cool, why not? Right? If you put your calendar link in there, it's like, oh, hang on, like I'm booking into your calendar. That comes next. That is your second message, but the first thing is not, you don't put your calendar link in, you leave it open, okay? So let me just exit out of this and I want to give you this. We will pin this text to the school, but let me just put this into the chat so you can have it. Okay, so good stuff. So there's the raw text that you can copy paste. There's a question here from Dawn about, is there an opportunity for feedback? Yes, and I'm going to show you that on the next slide. And first, perfect. Okay, good stuff. And we can answer some questions in a second. So that is the text, and we'll make sure that we put that text underneath the post. So here's the actions from today, and then if you're going to shoot off and do the work, great. I'm sticking around for another 5-10 minutes after we kind of show you this slide and the next slide to answer some further questions. But stage one, edit your header and then share the link to your company, to your bio, your profile in the chat so we can see it. And then the second one is outreach the message using our template. Then tomorrow, we're actually going to start sending these messages tomorrow. So this is why it's important to get your header and the messaging right. And we have pinned this post to the top of the group. Let me just show you this. So we go into LinkedIn for Breakfast here. Day one here, actions, share your bio and outreach message. So below here, if you share actually what your bio is and your outreach message, so you can go, my bio is ... and my outreach message is, and then you can, I'll paste mine in there. Right, there you go. Perfect. And then that's how we do it. And then I can go through them and actually give you a bit of feedback and to be able to help, and other people can go through it and give you a bit of feedback and how you can help, right? And we will also add in the recording to day one here so you can read it as well. So we'll replace this day one with the actual video of today as well. So you can watch anything back that you might need to. Good. That's it, gang. So 9 o'clock Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We're going to get the outreach actually sent tomorrow. So you can even be finding yourself in conversations with people that might want to meet with you by the close of play tomorrow. So that'll be exciting. If you're shooting off and doing those 3 actions, so know what your search is, write your bio, or rewrite your headline even, and then get that outreach message sorted. Those are the actions. Anybody got any further questions? I'm happy to take it now. Good stuff. Fantastic. So Tammy's doing it as we finish. So Gina's saying, any tips on the free version to filter out non-preferred posts? I'm clearer on Facebook and less on LinkedIn. So when you say, so filter out, not, Gina, in what way do you mean non-preferred posts? Is Gina still here?
Yeah, I am. Hey, Richard. That question was written in response to when you showed your LinkedIn profile and obviously the stuff that was coming in from LinkedIn. Normally on Facebook, I just, delete, report, blah, blah, blah. But on LinkedIn, especially if you don't have Sales Navigator, any other tips around how to teach LinkedIn and curate your own flow?
Yeah, it's not it's difficult because obviously you're going to there, but you can use the 3 dots here, and then you can say not interested. Okay, so I can say I'm not interested in that, and I'm not interested in this topic if you want, and then submit it in. So that's me when it's suggested posts or ads. This is now showing popular courses. again, that's not from my people, right? So I can then go hide this post, you know? And so that popular courses thing is a category that will find its way to you. So by hiding it, it's less likely to show you this because you are, as you say, you're teaching the algorithm that you don't want to see those sort of bits. And then I'm straight into another one. Look, promoted. It's
Yeah.
like it's almost like they don't want it. So HR admin, right? So I can then go, well, this is a sales one. So I can see why I'm looking at it, or I can then hide. Um, yeah, it's not interesting. There you go. So I'm not
Okay.
reporting it, but I'm kind of doing it there. Um, yeah, and again, look, Liz finds this insightful. So this is one of my connections found this post particularly insightful. So I do think it's a good idea to start to go through this because this is my audience finding this. This is my second degree thing, finding it insightful. Now that could be good, and this person who's my connection commented on this person. So again, this is my second degree connection. I'm not actually connected to this person, and this one's a third degree connection. So it's not ideal. Jobs, I mean, it's been a long time since I had a job. So it's kind of, that such is LinkedIn, which is why I really do rate that feed in Sales Navigator. It's like almost the thing that people don't, it's not the highlight of Sales Navigator, but yet it's almost one of those nice newbies. Um, cool. Um, good stuff. So does that help, Gina? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Lovely, good stuff. Dawn said, "Is there an opportunity?" Oh, yes, so opportunity for feedback. Yes. Brian says, "Should you use your company header for first contact or your personal header?" Um, so I think the point is, Brian, you can't connect with people as your page. So you can only connect with people as your personal profile. So you don't have the functionality to actually send a connection request, or you don't even have the ability to send a direct message as a company page unless someone has actually liked your page or messaged you first. So this is all about your personal profile. Good. Hope that helps. Rob says, are videos that I post in my feed shown in the video sections of the LinkedIn app? Yes, Rob. So if anybody doesn't know, and I'm very bolshy on this, on the phone app, there's a new button that says videos, and it's very much like an Instagram stories type feed. Now, you will get shown there if you have a video that is going to be portrait, not landscape, not the wide one, but the high one. And it's a minute or under. So that's the classic kind of shorts thing. If you're doing that, that actually will give you a good opportunity of being seen in those shorts, which is giving great reach at the moment for posts. We're seeing some fantastic results for people who are running those type of videos, but try and keep under a minute and make sure it's nicely produced, like use something like CapCut to get the video type subtitles in there, and put those two things together and it does well. So that could be really useful to help. Um, so Dawn saying, I'm not sure about the timing of sending the outreach message. First connection only after they comment on your post or something else. Okay, so we'll go through when you're sending the outreach message, Dawn, and when you do it. But ultimately, you are just making this a process. So when we actually do the list and say there's 363 people with first degree connections, you're just going to be sending 80 of those a day until you get through it. And then you're going to be sending 80 nudges to the first 80 people after that. It is a pure blanket outreach style. And it's not based upon have they connected, have they interacted with your stuff? Because I don't know about you guys, but the amount of posts that I read that I don't give a like to and I don't give a comment to, but yet I still did consume it, that is there's many lurkers out there. So you can't be so concerned about have they consumed my stuff because you might never know. So we are just going to be completely unemotional about it and just go rattle out a load of these DMs because that's the best way of doing it. And we'll be talking about that a little bit more tomorrow, and going through that whole process.
Can I just follow up on
Of course you can. Yeah.
I really like the fact that the non-emotional bit yeah, great. I mean, I've been in discussions like in a group scenario before, and I don't know whether it's more of a women thing than man. I don't know. I suspect that, oh, we don't like it when people reach out to us and it's so salesy if they send us a message and we've never, so it's that, and will I be turning those potential clients off, or are they not my clients because they're too touchy? She says.
I think if you write this well, I think it's actually quite nice for someone to go, oh, okay, you are just being upfront and saying that, I think this is you're basically saying we have this thing that's really specific for you because you're this type of person, and we think it's going to be really good for you, and I'd love to have a chat with you about it. That's all we're saying. Now, yes, if someone gets that in their inbox and they're particularly sensitive to being sold to, then they are going to be like, Dawn tried to sell to me. How dare she? And I would just say, look, you've got to think about why am I on the platform? Why do I agonize over all these posts that I put out and all this kind of comments that I put out? It's because I want to promote my business.
Yeah.
And LinkedIn is a professional business network, and we are here to, in reality, sell to each other. Like there's not, I've got loads of friends, but I don't, do you know what I mean? I'd give them WhatsApp if I was trying to talk to someone. I wouldn't be going on LinkedIn and, like trying to put posts out and attract new buddies, right? You are here for, it's a few things, right? So you're there to find potential clients. You're there for understanding new things. You're there for finding suppliers, maybe investors, but you are doing businessy stuff, and you never quite know where any conversation would go. And so I would do it that way. But here's the key thing. We've done this before where we've said to people, hey, just say, look, you're an IT person and I'm this person, and maybe we could have a quick chat to kind of see where life would go. And what happens is that you get bookings in like virtual coffees that just spend the entire time with them selling to you because you've opened up for a virtual coffee. Whereas if you get someone saying yes to this meeting, the whole premise is they have said, yeah, you can have a meeting with me because you said that you work with me and you solve this problem, and I do have that problem. And it's about just making sure that we're optimizing that time, because it takes literally 5 minutes to send, a load of these messages, but it takes half an hour to have one of those meetings. And so I'd much prefer you to have those meetings based upon that message versus a meeting based upon hey, would you like to have a virtual coffee to see if there's any synergy?
Yeah, because it just becomes a chat about the weather or shit.
Yeah, well, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks for clarifying that.
It's like having a pre-agenda circulated.
Yeah.
On. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
No worries. Hannah, good to see you.
Good to see you. Good morning. I just wanted to say to that point, actually, I don't have a question, but just because I was very skeptical about sort of cold outreach, and I don't like particularly being cold outreached on LinkedIn. And then, so I've started doing it, and I've been truly shocked and surprised at the amount of people that get back to me. I honestly can't believe it. I'm struggling to keep up with the people that are getting back to me from my cold outreach. So I think I've got my outreach message. I mean, I think I need to tweak it a bit and do a bit of A/B testing, and there's some nuance. But yeah, as Richard just said, people are on LinkedIn for business, and they know there's an element of cold outreach. And I think, if I'm being brutally honest, if you can really hone your bio. So I was on Dragon's Den, and if I mention that, people are like, oh, that's actually quite interesting. So in your cold outreach, if you can put something which is a bit personal and different and not quite so spammy, yeah, like I said, I don't want to hammer the point home, but I've been truly shocked how well it's worked. And each week, my diary now is full of people I don't know. Whereas before with my business, it was very much my networking, which I'm pretty good at, but that's not scalable. So I knew friends of friends or business friends of friends in my inbox now and across my diary. It's just genuinely people I don't know. So for me, it really works.
I love that. I think the key thing that you're saying there is really hone that why they should listen piece at the end. You know, so it's not the hey, I work with this industry sector and I help them do this. That's important because that's making it tailored. But the
Mm.
why they should listen, having something that is kind of intriguing or adds credibility could be really useful. And it does, obviously you went on Dragon's Den, which is a great thing. And I can, obviously I have similar experiences with my piece of credibility that I can stick on. But
Mm.
and they do work, and I completely understand that. But I know someone that's done really well because their outreach header said, I want you to I want your business to make you so happy your bits tingle. Was his message. And I was like, really? And he was like, really? Okay. I was like, okay, really? And he did it and it works. It's like he says every meeting I have with people, they all reference that. And I'm like, well, there we go. Okay.
Yeah.
And so it's just something a little bit left field, different, shows character.
Mm.
Um, and you don't
Who
have to
was
have
that guy? I want to sign up.
yeah, well, there you go. See?
What's the business?
Exactly. Exactly. So it's a quite a different thing. So you don't have to have gone and been grilled by dragons to have a piece of credibility or something of intrigue on that header banner in that kind of why they should listen piece at the end. Cool. But thank you, Hannah. Great kind of share there. Really do appreciate it. Cool. Mia, over to you.
Morning, Richard. Morning, everybody. I was just wondering, what do you do with the message if your target audience is B2C and the subject is what you do is a bit more sensitive, so you don't know what their situation is. So, for instance, I deal with longevity. If I start saying about weight loss or anti-aging in that connector message in any shape or form, people are going to say, are you saying I need to lose weight? Are you saying I need to put on weight? Are you saying I'm looking old? Are you saying, I have had that reaction. So how do I change that message so that it deals with sensitivity, basically, a sensitive subject?
I think you're doing it with the longevity piece. I mean, I would really, you obviously are. I mean, longevity is a huge wave that's coming in. I mean, it is like the big thing. You look at, I always laugh now because when I went to university, it was all about how many pints you could have in a night. And now it's like they're all going to university and thinking about how many times they can go to the gym during the week. And health is just kind of filtered through, but then that's pushing the kind of people now who are 40s, 50s, 60s, that everybody is talking, that wave is going, wow, I used to have bad habits, now I want to have these good habits. And it's wrapping it up in a very approachable longevity bubble as opposed to a health and fitness bubble. And I just think you major on that. I think everybody wants that. And I don't think that is offensive because it doesn't matter who you are, there are things that you can do to enhance longevity, right?
Yeah, I agree.
And so you want to
Yes.
you just want to pull those out to say, hey, at the age of 90, do you want to be able to sit cross-legged playing with your grandkids on the floor? You
Mm,
know, there are things you can do today to make that happen. Love to talk to you about them.
yeah, that's great actually. And I've just thought about my the profile message on that tweet that you said. Wouldn't you like people to say where are you getting all that energy? How do you feel? What's making you look and feel so great with all that energy that you're giving out? Yeah, something along those lines. I like that.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know if you've listened to any Peter Thiel stuff, but he's very much into longevity and I stole that one about the being 90 and sitting cross-legged talking to grandkids. That's his one. But as soon as he said it, I was like, that's really cool. And then he lays out like, well, therefore at this age you should be able to do X amount of chin-ups and you should be able to do Y amount of things. And so he goes, to get result, sitting cross-legged playing with your grandkids, you should be able to, in your 40s, do this, in your 50s, do this. And like suddenly it's like he's now giving you a stepping stones, a roadmap to hit the ultimate goal, which is still being able to climb up the stairs, not have to live in a bungalow because you can walk up the stairs when you're 90 years old, right? Like it's what that is doing, and just to kind of help you go there, is he's unpeeling the vision of you in that stage of your life. You don't want to have to leave your own house because you can't walk up the stairs. You don't want to not be able to play with your grandkids. You don't want to, whatever it is. And he's saying, great, to get there, you just need to do these steps. So, wow, that's so clever. So it's like all of us, this is a great business kind of concept to maybe for us to finish on, is that whenever you're trying to sell anything, whenever you're trying to produce a product, you always sell the shiny new world that your product creates, that kind of think about for my business, it's called the $1 million sprint. So we talked about people becoming a $1 million business, growing to that income level, because if they do that, they'll have more time, more money, more time, more freedom, right? And so we talk about that. And then you say, well, where are you now? Well, you probably got, if you talk about the longevity piece, you're probably a little bit unsure in your health. You probably picked up some bad habits. You're probably not as flexible as you used to be. Maybe you're not as active. And then you can go, right, to get from here to here, you just need these stepping stones. And so, Peter Thiel talks about, well, in your 40s, you need to be able to do this many press ups and you need to be able to do this many things. And it's tangible numbers that relate to that steps. For us, it will be, you just need to be able to get something to build awareness, something to build consideration, something to make sales happen, something to be able to deliver your product, right? Stepping stones, boom. So that's what we do. So where are you now? Where do you want to be? And what's the stepping stones to get there?
Thank you. That's awesome. Thank you.
Love it. Well, guys, we're here each week. Thanks for sticking around. So 9 o'clock on Tuesday, tomorrow, we'll be getting those outreach messages sorted. But please do go and put into the chat what it is, and I will be across that throughout today and into the evening to be able to give you guys some feedback. Big love. Take care, and I'll see you at 9 o'clock tomorrow.